Casanova after spotting the Lakers an early 3-goal lead. Today the Trojans face Salmon River, a team that took Cas to overtime last year in the state quarterfinals before losing. The Shamrocks would like to make a run of their own at a state crown. Homer and Salmon River battle it out to see who moves on in Class C. Starting lineups are coming up next. Welcome to Cicero North Syracuse High School Michael Bragman Stadium for high school boys lacrosse. Today the Homer Trojans and Salmon River Shamrocks meet in the Class C state quarterfinals. Hello everyone, Stephen Fani alongside Dale Drypolcher. And Dale, I think some people may be surprised that we're not seeing Casanova in this game and that it's Homer instead, but I tell you what, the Trojans certainly earned their trip here with an impressive win over the Lakers on Wednesday. Yeah, the Lakers a little bit surprised. Homer used a 3-3 zone defense, kind of threw them off a little bit. They prepared and used it only for Homer, or excuse me, only for Casanova. It'll be interesting to see whether they use it today, but excellent play throughout that whole game for Homer. Let's take a look at the Drivers Village drive to the championship. Visit driversvillage.com today, and here's a look at what's on the line. A trip to the state semifinals. The winner of this one meets either Penn Yan or Silver Creek next. Now, this is the third straight year that Salmon River has made it to the state quarterfinals. The Shamrocks lost to Skinny Atlas in 2010, lost to Casanova last year. Maybe third time's the charm, Dale. I think they'd like to take that next step. They got a lot of good shooters. They're well coached. They're athletic. This is a team that could do it. They're as good as anybody in the state. Salmon River is led by Dalston Day. He's an All-American, 91 points on the season. Impressive numbers. Obviously, Homer's got to say, you know what, we have to watch out for him. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they have to account for him all the time. Salmon River comes into this game 19-0, ranked number 5 in the state. As for Homer, this is the first time that the Trojans have competed in the Class C state tournament. Trojans are led by Connor Johnston and Aaron Zimmerman, among others. Well, you know what, they got a couple of captains, and their job is to lead this team. They've done a great job. They got great goaltending. Coach Cottrell was very impressed with that, and, of course, the faceoffs. That can really tell the outcome of a game, and Coach Cottrell said that's going to be very important today, so let's watch the faceoffs. Yeah, faceoffs were so big in that Casanova game. Won 11 straight faceoffs in that game. It's the first game of our triple header, Homer and Salmon River. It's up next on Time Warner Cable Sports.
For 30 years, the Real Wood Furniture Store has brought you quality real wood furniture at reasonable prices. The Real Wood Furniture Store has furniture for every room in your home. Bedroom suites, desk and bookcases, china cabinets, dining tables and chairs, entertainment furniture, and so much more. We also do custom home libraries and home offices, and we have a full line of kitchen and bath cabinets.
Time Warner Cable Sports coverage of high school lacrosse is sponsored by Drivers Village. Visit driversvillage.com today. By Alliance Bank, expect different. By Nice and Easy Grocery Shops. And by Onondaga Community College.
Welcome back to Bragman Stadium. CNS High School, for the Class C state quarterfinal game between Salmon River and Homer. Time to get you set for the starting lineups, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. We talked about the All-American Dalston Day in the opening. He has 91 points. Kai Tarbell not too far behind with 84. For Homer, keep your eye on Connor Johnston. He won 11 consecutive face-offs against Casanova on Wednesday. Balanced attack for the Trojans. Bo Riley leading the team in points with 66. The goalies for today in net for Salmon River, number 88, Kobe Johnson. He's played in all 17 games so far this season. For the Shamrocks and for the Homer Trojans, Jonathan Cottrell will be in net. He's the coach's nephew. And there you see a look at his numbers, a 60% save percentage on the year. The coaches for Salmon River, it's Jim Barnes, and for Homer, it's Tom Cottrell. Let's send it down to the field, and Dan Liedke. Take it away, Dan.
We've just had a chance to observe Coach Barnes when he brought his team out onto the field. He actually had them stop before they touched the green AstroTurf, and he said to them, "This is where we're going to fight, guys. We have to leave everything out here. When you cross back over this line later, you best have left everything on the field. You get an opportunity to rest tomorrow." So a really fiery speech from the coach to get his kids going. He mentioned to me, though, he's got a tremendous amount of respect for Section 3 teams. They've been his nemesis. He would like to turn that around here this afternoon. Other sideline coach Cottrell, he mentioned the obvious things. Face-offs, possession is a big key, but he said he's going to take some time to observe the legs on the other side. He said whatever teams can make the adjustments early and get their nerves under control will win this lacrosse game. We'll send it back upstairs. Steve?
All right, thank you, Dan. And as we mentioned, Dale, during the Open, Salmon River 19-0, the only unbeaten team in Class C, yet they're only ranked 5th in the state, and some of that has to do with the competition that they play. Are they battle-tested, enough coming into this game? We know Homer's battle-tested. What about Salmon River?
Well, you know what? They may not be battle-tested during their season here, but you know what? In the off-season, the summers, I'm sure they're playing very, very good competition. But you're right, Section 10 not as well respected, I should say, as Section 3, but, that doesn't make any difference right now, and he knows that. He wants his team to be very excited and very much into this game and to leave everything they have. A good speech for Coach Barnes.
Yeah, Salmon River's closest game this year was a 7-goal victory over Henniger early on. Beat them 16-9. And Henniger, the Syracuse East team this year, went 3-13. Again, that was Salmon River's closest game. They won the sectional title very easily and then beat Johnson City 15-6 on Wednesday in the first round of the state playoffs. The first face-off of the game is won by Homer, and the Trojans in the offensive end. That's Aaron Zimmerman, number 17 up top. He's one of the 3 captains on this squad, heading off to the Naval Academy in the fall. Zimmerman to his right, gets a step, puts a shot on, and is just wide and backed up by the Trojans. And Homer will keep possession. Here's Bo Riley, leads the team in points with 66, passes off to Connor Johnston, back to Riley. Now Johnston, he was so good in that win over Casanova on Wednesday. Ball down, and it's scooped up by Salmon River. Kaysen Tarbell comes away with it in the open field, and an easy clear for the Shamrocks. Now the first offensive possession for Salmon River. Here's Kyle Lewis, and as you said, Dale, Homer going to go man-to-man. That 3-3 zone that they played on Wednesday apparently was just for the Casanova game.
That's what Coach Cottrell told me. Pretty much that's what it was based on. He said we worked on it all year, but pretty much it was intended to work against Casanova. But you're right, they've gone man-to-man, and we'll get some matchups. We're talking about number 14 before this game started, Dalston Day. He's somebody that's got to be guarded, and that got a long stick on him. Number 7, Contento. He was momentarily. We'll see. They get the ground ball, and it goes back to Homer.
So a turnover for both teams, and now the Trojans with their second offensive possession. Aaron Zimmerman, nice catch in transition, and a successful clear for the Trojans. Approaching 2 minutes gone by, no score.
I think I saw a little bit of zone I'm from Salmon River. I'll see here as they get set up. Looked like they were running a little bit of a zone.
Here's Riley.
Play hard to the ball. They lose him.
Bounces it, goes wide, and it's backed up by the Trojans. Brandon Maxson to trigger it in.
He had a good game against Casanova also. The whole team obviously played very well to upset a team like Casanova. But Max played very, very well.
Homer lost to Cas twice during the regular season. Lost by 8 in the first meeting. 2 goals rather in the second meeting, but obviously dominated that affair on Wednesday. Here's Riley to his right. Thinks about the shot, draws the slide, and then passes off to Jake Gray, and Gray will backpedal and reset.
Salmon River definitely sagging back in defensively. They're making it hard to get anything inside. A lot of green jerseys in there.
Sean Ferrito handling. Passes behind the cage to Bo Riley. Now Riley spins, cut off nicely by Adam Bomberry. Zimmerman. Back to Riley. Shot never got through. Deflected off of Bomberry, out of bounds, and Homer will keep possession.
The Bomberry got that is a short stick, and they like that matchup. If you go behind, when you get a short stick, try to drive from behind. When you've got a short stick. Right now, we get some subs in and
fresh midfield group for the Trojans. Here's Ferrito. Down behind O'Reilly. Homer being very patient on this possession. One turnover for each team. This is the second offensive possession for the Trojans. It's the Class C state quarterfinal game between Homer and Salmon River. Shamrocks 19-0, ranked 5th in the state. Homer 17-3 on the season, ranked number 8 in New York State.
Well, they're getting a little bit of their own medicine there. A zone look. Now they got a good crease, but goalie gets a stick on that. Can't stop the rebound.
Bounce shot by Casey Cleary. Trojans get it back. Ferrito knocked out of bounds. Possession to the Shamrocks.
Tarbell, 24, did a great job. Got himself down there. Got himself in position to hit Ferrito, and the ball goes off of Homer. River has a chance to clear.
That's Casson Tarbell. One of the 2 Tarbells on the team. Brother of Trenton. And a successful clear for the Shamrocks. Here's Kai Tarbell.
I'm looking, they have Contento, number 7, on day. That attack man with all the points, 91 of them.
And Contento did a nice job on Connor Cannizzaro on Wednesday in that win over Casanova. He's going to draw the top offensive player for the other team, and like you said, he draws day in this one. Russ Oakes plays it off for Kai Tarbell, second on the team in points. Leads the team in assists with 47. Here comes Kai Tarbell. Always a threat to score or dish off. This time he tries to pass, but it's at the feet of Russ Oakes. And the ball goes out of bounds over to the Trojans. Seth Oakes unable to save it.
Very fast surface. If you're used to playing on field turf, this old AstroTurf is the kind of stuff where it rolls, and it happened in the other playoff games. You know, if you're used to playing on field turf, it's going to really go on you, and that's happened a couple times. So it will be Homer's opportunity to clear.
So we're just about at the midway mark of the first quarter. Still no score. Both teams have had it twice, and a couple of turnovers for both sides. This is Drew Christopher working it up along the near sidelines. And he will carry it over midfield and dish off to Casey Cleary. And now the Trojans back in the offensive end. Here's Zimmerman to his left. Passes off to Cleary. Now Cleary circles back and around.
Good check.
And he has it taken away. Ball down. Battle for. How about Connor Johnston? Bounced it back to himself. Now Zimmerman spins to his right. Shot. Whistles high. And it's backed up by the Trojans.
Illegal body check going to cost Salmon River 1.
Yep, Homer's going to go man up. The Salmon River team, very physical. We've seen it the last couple of years when they play in this state quarterfinal game. Lost to Skinny Atlas 18-4 back in 2010. Then last year took Casanova into overtime. And Jim Barnes told me last night that his team drew a lot of confidence from that game. The fact that they feel like they can compete against the best from Section 3. And they did so last year, nearly knocking off the eventual state champion Casanova Lakers.
Yeah, you're right, and that's a good measuring stick. And now it's going to be Homer as a measuring stick since they have replaced the Lakers as the Kings of Section 3.
There's Maxon to Ferrito, and they work it around for Bo Riley. Now Riley gives it up to Zimmerman, can't handle the pass, tries to get it back, scooped up in traffic, ball still down, and a whistle, and a loose ball whistle. and it will stay with the Trojans.
20 seconds left in the man-up opportunity. You really want to take advantage of this. They haven't really gotten a shot off.
Zimmerman puts a hard shot on, but goes wide, and it's backed up by Brandon Maxing.
It's a 15-yard shot, not a real high percentage shot. Goalie could see it the whole way. Well, they did get a shot off.
Riley to Ferrito to Zimmerman to Connor Johnston behind his head, doesn't go, might have hit the post. And now the Shamrocks looking to clear, and we are back to full strength.
Good ride here by Homer.
Oakley Thomas somehow hangs on to the ball. And a whistle and a timeout for Jim Barnes. So the Shamrocks will keep possession.
Salmon River.
Let's take a look at Connor Johnston behind his head.
Oh,
and sure enough,
2 pipes.
It hit both pipes. You're right.
36 square feet, and it hits the edge on both. Watch it. Great camera work. Bang, bang. And just like that, it picked up, and a good timeout because Oakley Thomas in a little bit of trouble going down the sideline with the big pole, but a great camera shot there showing you that double shot off the pipes.
We mentioned that Homer is 17-3 on the season. 2 of those losses to Cazenovia during the regular season. Lost 14-6 on the second game of the season back on April 3rd. Then dropped a 9-8 decision at Lafayette on April 17th. And then they started to hit their stride a little bit before losing to Caz late in the regular season, 11-9. It was a game that Homer led going into the fourth quarter, and even though they were 0-2 against the Lakers during the regular season, Tom Cottrell told me yesterday that they felt like they were the better team and had a lot of confidence going into that game on Wednesday in the sectional final against the Lakers.
Well, he certainly knew, Coach got this Cottrell right there. He certainly knew that that 3-3 zone, or expected that it was going to be effective, and it definitely was. Kept the score down and dominating the faceoffs. And when you're using a zone and it's hard to get goals or hard to come by, when you get the faceoffs, it's a good winning combination.
6 shots for Homer. Salmon River yet to get a shot on cage. We're back to live action. Kyle Lewis able to get out of trouble. Taps it in the offensive end. And now he resets the offense. 4:20 to play in the opening quarter. No score. Here's Lewis coming to his right. Draws the slide. Gives it up to Cam David. Good job by the Trojans to quickly recover. Brandon Wood got back on him.
Yeah, good point. It's slide. Somebody's got to recover. You got to get back, or somebody's got to slide to take the man that you left. They did a nice job on it. Right now, they take the ball behind.
There's Seth Oakes working one-on-one. Spins, fires. He hit the post. And it's backed up by Salmon River.
Stay on your pipe and wait, John.
So the first real good opportunity for the Shamrocks, and Seth Oakes bangs it off the post.
Savacool, number 20 on him. He just backed his way in and then got his hands free.
Here's Dalston Day, the All-American, working against Contento. Now Day dips down, didn't get much on the shot. And Tarbell there to back it up.
A lot of that was because of Contento stick work. You've got to keep on those hands, not let them get an easy shot or an easy pass. And Contento, nice job.
Aaron pass as Tarbell was looking for Oakes, but Cam David able to track it down. Shamrocks reset. Kai Tarbell behind the cage. There he comes to his right. Now spins back to the left. Trying to muscle his way in. Still has it. Bounce shot, and that one goes. First goal of the game credited to Kai Tarbell. He was not to be denied on that possession. Dale just kept muscling his way in and eventually found the back of the net.
Kept going left and right, and he was taking Savacool with him. And then when he finally sensed he had a little bit of room, look at that one-hand cradle. And then he fakes the pass and brings it back down, gave himself enough room on that fake pass. Nice bounce shot. Nice fake pass right there. That was a great job because he sent Savacool out, gave himself some room with the fake pass, and Tarbell comes up with goal number 1.
And the Shamrocks win the faceoff. Adam Bomberry plays it off, and now he will leave the field. Salmon River with the early 1-goal advantage. Kai Tarbell has that goal, has the ball, now passes off. Dalston Day comes to his right, spins back left. Tries to hit the cutter, unable to connect with Seth Oakes. And Jonathan Cottrell scoops it up.
Nice cut down by Oakes. Couldn't get him the ball, and the turnover goes Homer.
Both teams solid in the clearing game so far. No mistakes there. Here's Zimmerman. Bounce shot, and that one goes off the pipe and in. So the pipe unkind to Connor Johnston, but Aaron Zimmerman able to convert, and we're tied up at 1.
His 29th goal, 46th point of the year, and a nice bounce shot. And you said you can even hear it all the way up here. You can hear the little ping. The bounce shot goes up and then around. It started on the left and came back around to the right, caught the inside of the net. And nice shot. You know, on this kind of surface, you get a lot of nice bounce shots because the ball really can take off and gain some speed.
Connor Johnston wins the face-off to himself, passes off to Riley, thought about it, takes a step to the right, and it's saved by Kobe Johnson. Boy, that was close to bouncing in the net, but Johnson able to cover up the rebound, and now the Shamrocks looking to clear. And the ride is successful for the Trojans. Riley has it, and they'll wait for his teammates.
It was Brandon Maxson, 33, one of the attack men. I told you one of the things, oh, there's a bad pass. They tried to roll it on the turf, and it
looked like
went
Jake
away.
Gray wasn't expecting it.
Right.
And the Trojans catch a big break as they get it back, and they catch another break with an offsides. And there's the whistle as Riley lost it, but Homer will go a man up. Boy, that was a big break for Homer.
It was a big break because they looked like they had something going, and then he threw the little ground ball pass, and nobody was on it. It went over the midfield line, but then it went back, and Homer got it, but an offsides with possession makes them down 30 seconds.
Yeah, it looked like Jake Gray just wasn't expecting that ground ball pass, didn't see it. And then eventually Homer got it back, and Salmon River went offside. So a man-up opportunity for the Trojans. They're 0 for 1 so far today. Just had 2 shots on that first opportunity, which was a minute long. Let's see if they can convert here on the 32nd.
Try to get that defense rotating and then bring the ball back. They keep going the same way. Maybe a skip pass. They're still going to send it around.
Johnston now to Zimmerman. Behind the cage for Riley. Now for Johnston. Lets loose. Didn't get much on it. Bounces over the cage. His stick was checked as he tried to put it on net. And I believe we're back to full strength.
Now looks like they have cleared the penalty area.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter, so we are back at full strength. Johnston comes back for Ferrito. They play it behind for Riley.
So they're using that zone. You can see the players in green, and a lot of guys in front of that goalie when they take a shot.
Shamrocks come up with it. Here's Bomberry in the open field. Looking ahead for Tarbell. 3 seconds, pass in front. Couldn't connect with Seth Oakes, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Entertaining first quarter. Both teams with some opportunities. 1 goal apiece. We thought it would be close, and in fact it is after 12 minutes. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. It's the Class C state quarterfinals. Keep it here. Time Warner Cable Sports. This is just the first of 3 games today. Keep it here because the Class A state quarterfinal coming up next between Ithaca and Liverpool. And then Jamesville, DeWitt, and Vestal will close out the day later tonight. All the games coming at you live right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. Let's send it down to the field with Danny Liedtke.
Hey, thanks very much, Steve. Checked into the Homer huddle during the timeout. The focus was on man-up situations. Coach said you're not throwing these passes with any authority. Hard passes, trust one another. They've got to move their feet. He said they're very slow moving the ball. They need to pick up the pace and take the shots when they have them. We'll send it back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Dan. There's a look at Tom Cottrell. Has the Trojans 17-3 on the season, and they win the face-off, but throw the ball away. Zimmerman was looking to give it up, and Salmon River will get it back.
There's an important thing to notice when you look at the faceoffs. It's 3-1 Homer in leading in that category, but it's what you do with it after you get it. If you get the ball and throw it away, the faceoff is meaningless. Against Cazenovia, it was not. That one, they got the faceoff and wasted an opportunity and give it right back to Salmon River.
And here's Adam Bomberry in the open field and comes up a little lame, and now he's going to limp to the sideline. And there's a whistle, and sure enough, the officials stop it as Bomberry goes down to the turf.
When there's an injury, we're stopping it right away.
Might be a cramp.
That's the way we're going to do it.
What do you think, Dale?
Groin muscle, hamstring. Let's see. Yeah, that's got to be it. He's got a knee. Doesn't he have a brace or something on that right knee? And that may be it. But he's grabbing the hamstring area. We'll see. Those hurt, boy, and they'll send you right to the turf.
And he's being attended to right now. That's Adam Bomberry, senior midi for Salmon River.
He plays an important part in that defense. He's the short stick defensive midi lots of time on that defense. And he is getting looked at. 11:31 left to see the score tied up.
Want to remind you to join us next Saturday for the Class A, B, and C Girls State Finals coming to you from SUNY Cortland. The game can be seen live on Time Warner Cable Sports 2. That's channel 1026. Game start at 9 o'clock a.m. and run all day long. A lot of high school action coming your way this time of year, Dale.
It's an exciting time of the year, and it's now you got the downstates coming into it as for both the men and the women, boys and the girls, and it's the winners here move on. The losers, your season's over. But I tell you, it is an exciting time and a lot of bragging rights. What's better, upstate, downstate, and that's been going on for years.
Yeah, the girls' games will be on channel 1026. The boys' games live from Middletown will be on the air live coming your way next weekend on channel 813. And it looks like Adam Bomberry is up, and they're going to help him to the sidelines.
That's that right leg.
Sure, Dan Liedke will get on that and get back to us soon with an update on Adam Bomberry. Early on here in the second quarter, tied up at 1. Salmon River struck first on a goal by Kai Tarbell, and then a little more than 10 minutes in, Aaron Zimmerman answered as he banked one in off of the pipe to tie the game up at 1. And remember, the Trojans fell behind Cazenovia 3-0 on Wednesday in the sectional finals, and then they reeled off 7 straight to close out the half.
Just watching the team and their body languages, it didn't seem to faze them at all. They didn't seem to panic or get excited, and that shows you how much confidence this Homer team has.
Here's Kai Tarbell as we're back to live action.
Who's hot?
Now Dalston Day
Side left.
plays it off for Cam David. David now near side for Kaysen Tarbell. He'll back it up, being watched by Chris Brown.
A little one-on-one, screen the goalie, let me get a shot off the center crease attack man there.
There's a bounce shot. Cottrell got a piece of it.
Watch corners! Watch corners!
And Cottrell saying watch the cutters because he knows they want to break down from the top and have that attack man deliver a nice pass. Right now he's just wheeling and dealing behind.
There's Tarbell, has one goal, looking for a second, didn't get much on that. And credit Drew Christopher with the check. And the ball over to Homer.
Nice check by Zach Moore, 15. Watch right here. So he's got the stick and he lifts. Sometimes that's as effective as the slap check or the poke check. He lifts it up, and you get to hear a lot of this because we got mics in the nets, and you'll hear a lot of goalie talk, and you'll hear a lot of clanging of sticks when they go in for inside shots.
And you're right, Dale. We're told unofficially that it was a hamstring for Adam Bomberry, so he's being worked on along the near sideline as Homer looks to clear. Approaching 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter.
They're playing man-to-man except on the goalie, and they only got 30 seconds.
And a whistle.
Yeah, failure to advance.
Yep. So back over to Salmon River. And that whistle may have come at a good time because Cottrell's pass was knocked down.
Yeah. Well, you see what they did. They let the goalie go, but they manned up on everybody else and forced a pass that was intercepted, but the 30 seconds had expired. You've got 30 seconds after they start when you make a save or you get the ball in your end to get it into the other attack end, and it expired and you lose the ball.
Russ Oakes draws the slide, gives it up, ball down. Connor Johnston was able to check it free, but it's tracked down by Kaysen Tarbell.
He's very active, Johnston, the face-off man, defensive midi, offensive midi.
There's Seth Oakes being watched by Brandon Wood. Oakes working one-on-one, draws the double, keeps it, shot, and a goalie goes top shelf. How did he get that off? Unbelievable effort by Seth Oakes, and it's 2-1 Salmon River.
You get these guys up near the Canadian border and Native Americans playing in the box. The stick control very, very nicely done. Watch that. He gets the slide, slips right by the slide. When that slide came from number 20, that was Sovacool. He kind of brought the stick in. When he went by, he should have checked his body. He got himself free, and Seth Oakes put that one in. Nice job by Oakes. 58 points. He's no stranger to putting the ball in the cage.
Seth Oakes, one of 3 players on this Salmon River roster, headed to OCC next year. Chuck Wilbur will certainly be glad to get him, and an errant pass off another face-off win, and now Salmon River will look to clear.
It's 4-1, but the last 2 face-offs they've thrown the ball away and turned it over, so it really doesn't mean much looking at it that way because it hasn't been a big factor.
Kai Tarbell.
Oh, nice fast break.
In transition, shot and a goal. Credit that one. Is that Oakes again?
Yes.
Looks like Seth Oakes. His second. And it's 3-1.
Nice pass by Mitchell. And then Oakes on the way down puts that past Cottrell. And a nice goal. That gives a 2-goal lead to Salmon River. Second goal today for Oakes.
Another face-off win for the Trojans.
Johnson does a great job of directing that. And they lose it. That's the 3rd face-off in a row they've gotten and lost.
Here's Oakley Thomas in transition. The long stick puts it on, but Cottrell there for the save and passes it ahead. Here's Ferrito. Gives it off for Riley. And Salmon River able to recover.
That was a great job by Cottrell. He saw the man downfield, took a long, hard pass, but you got to give Salmon River credit. They got back, played defense.
Zimmerman has a step and buries it inside the far post and draws the flag. Second of the day for Zimmerman, and the Trojans back within 1.
Zimmerman gets by, protects the stick, and then you see the late hit right there. There's a check, and he gets by the check, and you see the late hit. The ball was gone out of his hand. Not a good penalty.
1 minute, illegal check, wipe off.
And so obviously that wipes off the face-off, and now the Trojans will have a minute to try and tie this game up on the man-up advantage.
Ball, relax.
Homer 0 for 2 on the extra man so far today. And Zimmerman stays on the field, and he'll trigger it in. 8:02 to play in the opening half. Salmon River with a 3-2 lead. Here's Zimmerman. To Riley, and they'll work it around to Ferrito. Maxon. Cleary. Now Zimmerman. Good ball movement by the Trojans. Trying to pick their opportunity here.
You heard what the coach said. You got to make hard, fast passes. You want to get the defense to rotate. If you
Pass in
good
front.
shot.
There you go. Zimmerman's 3rd off the feed from Bo Riley, and just like that, we have a tie game.
Nice job by Riley, but the point I was trying to make, if you take slow passes, that lets the defense slide and slide and slide. You got to make a fast pass. Look at that fast pass coming back the other way. Riley looking for the man cutting down, and just a good job of putting that ball in. Good coverage, actually, by Hemlock, but he just put the ball, Riley put the ball right on his stick, and he quick sticked it past the goalie, so it's tied up, and Zimmerman, a hat trick, had done all the scoring for Homer.
And he scoops up the ground ball, and now Homer a chance to take the lead. Ferrito passes off to Riley, and just like that, the Trojans are in front for the first time today.
Well, that time the face-off, they did cash in on it, as they've gotten their 5th face-off, 5-1, and that time, instead of losing it like they had the last 2 in a row, they do a nice job of getting the ball up, and Zimmerman helped out, makes a nice pass. They get it down to Ferrito, who has another cutter coming down the middle, and Bo Riley, the man who got the assist on the last goal, is going to push this one in past the goalie. Right there, Bo Riley cuts across, and the goalie at his mercy. He's got all that room. And they lose a face-off. Johnson loses a face-off. First one in a long time on a violation.
So Salmon River now behind for the first time today. Face-off 6-2 in favor of the Trojans. Here's Kai Tarbell. Passes off to Seth Oakes. Oakes has 2. Looking for a hat trick. Draws the flag. Oakes backing his way in.
Yeah, look at that.
Using his muscle, gets in close, and a nice save by Jonathan Cottrell, and that draws the whistle. And now Salmon River, for the first time today, will go man up.
So they got a hold, so it'll be a 30-second as Homer's number 9, Brandon Wood, takes a seat.
Watch, on the ground. Let's go.
Let's see if we get a look at Mr. Wood right there. Yep, that's a hold.
If they go to the crease, we're in Larry. I got ball.
All right, so we're back to live action. Kai Tarbell.
One behind.
Is it a hidden ball?
It was. I was fooled. We're going to have to take a look at the replay on this, Dale, because it looks like Seth Oakes got his 3rd, but I was fooled as well. I thought Kai Tarbell had it. Homer thought Kai Tarbell had it. And Salmon Rivers tied the game at 4.
And I thought that you're right, that Tarbell had the goal, or had the ball. See, we're at the bottom there. We're looking at Tarbell. And they used the old hidden ball trick.
Well executed. Johnston wins a face-off. Couldn't scoop it up.
Ball's loose. Green with a hole.
And Homer will get possession. Loose ball hold against Salmon River. So we're back to even strength. After the man-up goal by Oakes, he's got 3. Aaron Zimmerman has 3 for the Trojans. So a pair of hat tricks here in the first half.
You gotta get active, CJ. You gotta be a threat. Pull the trigger.
There's Ferrito to Riley. Riley back behind the cage, gives it up to Ferrito. Now the Trojans play it around. Homer still dominating that face-off statistic. Riley cut off nicely, still with the ball, now passes off. Zimmerman.
Extending the zone out a little bit farther. They take the ball behind. They don't really guard him behind. They just wait till he makes a break. So in that zone, they're letting the man with the ball stay behind and not playing him. You can see how when you feed it in there, how many green sticks are available on that zone.
There's Jake Gray, now to Zimmerman. Zimmerman already has 3. Dishes off to Ferrito. Back to Zimmerman. To Ferrito. They play catch. Ball down as he was looking for Gray. Scooped up by Ferrito. Dives in front of the crease. Can't get it to go, and it's scooped up by Kobe Johnson. Now Salmon River looking to clear.
Good ride by Homer and a nice clear by Salmon River.
Kason Tarbell sets up the offense for the Shamrocks. There you see the ground ball statistic. Homer winning that category as well. And this time of year, Dale, those stats, face-offs and ground balls, so key. So important to possess the ball in these playoff games.
Yep, and especially now Salmon River running that zone. Homer's been turning it over, sometimes off of face-offs, and giving him a gift there. But Salmon River has come back and got it tied up. A lot of muscle, this one-on-one.
Tarbell.
Again.
Another for him. Give him 2, and it's 5-4 Salmon River. He's a strong kid.
You're going to have to slide to him. You're going to have to slide to his stick because he's so strong and he puts that back in and just muscles his way in. Watch what he does. He's going to got his stick, nope, fakes, then just comes out and gets himself some distance. If that man's going to slide, you got to slide to his stick and you got to hit him hard. Make him pass the ball. Even if you leave a man open, you can't let him just muscle in there like that. Tarbell, very strong. Nice job by Tarbell.
So it's 5-4 Salmon River. And Homer wins another faceoff. Zimmerman up with it. Passes off to Riley. Riley dips down. Gets in close. Shot in the goal. Boy, that didn't take long. We're tied again. Second goal of the game for Bo Riley.
Ball comes off the faceoff. Scooped up. And Riley makes a face dodge. Gets himself some space and just perfect placement. See, he went far side. Goalie was protecting the right pipe. He put it high on the far pipe, and Bo Riley ties it up and gets his second goal. And we're back at the face-off circle again. And another violation is going to give the ball to Salmon River.
Riley now leads the team in goals. He has 40. It's a very balanced attack. He has 40 on the year. Connor Johnston has 39. Brandon Maxson has 39. Sean Ferrito has 37. So there's really not one guy you can key on if you're playing this Homer team. So Riley now leads the team in goals with 40. Zimmerman leads him today with 3.
Let's see if they give Tarbell the ball again, how they help out on him. He's going to get the ball. He's going to start in the same way they have. When he gives it up.
Now Russ Oakes looking to clear out and work one-on-one against Connor Johnston. Comes to his right. Now passes off. That's Kason Tarbell. Passes off to Kai Tarbell. And here he comes. Already has 2. Tarbell backs his way in. Now plays it up top for Kason. Seth Oakes. Oakes thinking shot. Draws 3 defenders as it checked away by Savakul. And a whistle and a timeout for Homer. So the Trojans will keep possession. 2:40 to play here in the opening half, and we've got a tie game.
You know, it's interesting. You look down at Dalston Day coming in 91 points. He has nothing so far today, and they've done a nice job of guarding him. But when you're going to get one, it's like Mercury. Then something's going to flow the other way, and it has been going the way of Kai Tarbell the last couple of times. But Seth Oakes already has 3, so those 2 guys picking up the slack for a guy who is their leading scorer and an All-American.
Yeah, this is a Salmon River team that scores a lot of goals. The starting attack has 135 goals on the season. That's an average of more than 7 per game just out of the starting attack. And I was talking with Jim Barnes last night. He said that this year, more often than not, the starters are out of the game by halftime. They're playing a lot of the reserves because they're up by so many goals.
Yeah. That's an interesting, it's a nice dilemma you'd like to have.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, 7 goals. I mean, that's the closest game they've had all year. Is a 7-goal margin of victory. Beat Johnson City by 9 in the first round of the state playoffs. There's a look at Jim Barnes.
That was a good timeout by Cottrell because it looked like Salmon River was going to get that ball. And it would have squandered an offensive opportunity.
And again, in a game like this, Even though it's only the second quarter, every possession matters.
Yeah.
Sideline.
2:40 to play in the opening half.
Trying to figure out where the ball is.
As we're back to live action, pass is knocked down but scooped up by Casey Cleary. And now Cleary plays it off for Ferrito and behind to Bo Riley. Riley pass in front. He was looking for Maxon, couldn't one time at home. Zimmerman tracks down the loose ball.
In that zone, they're leaving Bo Riley alone back there. And if he can find a good cutter, he's been making some excellent passes as they cut down, trying to find some spaces in that zone. Riley's out now.
There's Cleary to Maxon. Now Bo Riley. Riley gets it back. Under 2 to play in the opening half. Ferrito. Now Bo Riley up top for Connor Johnston. Plays it near side for Cleary. Zimmerman. Cut off by Kyle Lewis.
They're showing good patience, but they're going to take a timeout. You got 2, you might as well use them. You got a minute and a half left. Let's set something up here because we want to go in with a lead, and passing the ball around the outside of this zone defense. Let's see if we can't come up with something that'll shake a little something loose. Maybe another pass from behind by Bo Riley on some cutters.
There's a look at the Homer huddle. 17-3 on the season, ranked number 8 in New York State. They've beaten every team on their schedule. Lost to Cazenovia twice, but got them in the sectional final. Lost to Lafayette early in the year, but they were able to beat the Lancers in the rematch. And let's, in case you just joined us, let's bring you up to date on what's happened so far for Homer. Trojans have been led by Aaron Zimmerman. He has a hat trick. Scored the first 3 goals of the game for the Trojans. Zimmerman, one of the top midfielders in the country. And for Salmon River, they've been led so far by Seth Oakes, who has 3. Kai Tarbell has 2. We've only had 4 goal scorers in this game. There's the hidden ball trick as Seth Oakes scored, but Oakes has 3. Kai Tarbell has 2 for Salmon River, and Zimmerman with 3 for Homer, and Bo Riley 2 goals to go along with 1 assist. There's a look at Seth Oakes, one of the 3 players I mentioned on this Salmon River roster, heading off to OCC. Chris George, the defenseman, and Kai Tarbell, the others.
Come on, let's go.
Looks like OCC is just going to get stronger, doesn't it?
Yeah. Coming off yet another national championship. Chuck Willer's done such a great job with that program.
And you know, they have such great facilities, and a president who was very much involved in boosting the athletics, and it's certainly paid off. You look at all the teams they've gotten, how successful they are, and how much recognition they've gotten.
So now Homer out of timeouts. 1:30 to play here in the opening half. Maxon to Riley. Riley dips down in front, shot in the goal. Snuck it past Kobe Johnson, and the Trojans back in the lead by 1.
Well, it's something that they did the exact opposite of what they have been doing. They had Bo Riley back there. He hasn't really been moving with the ball. He's been looking to pass. He looks, they give me some space. He fakes the pass, does a little dodge, gets inside, gets underneath the defenseman. Watch this. Fakes underneath the defenseman. And just like that, Bo Riley's got 3.
Pretty good first half out of him, 4 points. And now the Trojans with a 6-5 lead. And coming off the face-off, a whistle. And the ball will belong to the Shamrocks. Johnston doesn't like the call, but he will come off. And Chris Brown heads in.
Lots of time left.
Here's Kai Tarbell. Taps it in the offensive end. And now he'll reset the offense with a minute to go.
Tarbell's been very effective coming from behind and then just muscling a defenseman in. Now he's way out on top.
Wants the isolation. Comes to the right. Now backing his way down. There's that fake pass again. Great stick work out of Kai Tarbell.
Good job, Alan. Good job.
So Salmon River with 4 face-off wins. That's more than Casanova had all game on Wednesday. There's a shot from Oaks, and Cottrell got a piece of it. Tarbell wins the loose ball, and Jim Barnes uses his last timeout of the half with 21.2 to play, and Homer with a 6-5 lead. So Jim Barnes is going to try to draw something up and pull the Shamrocks even heading into the break.
A nice defense by Sabakul, number 20. He's been the one who has been shadowing number 15, Kai Tarbell, and Tarbell took him way out on top. Now we'll listen to hear what they have to say.
Okay. When you start driving, if they all come over this way, either you swing the ball back to you, okay, over to you. All right, you guys got to pop up, Casey, you pop up to the top, you pop to the top, okay? But if he comes this way, you pop up top, okay? Get in a lane, check, get in those quick lanes. So if you got it behind, throw it behind to him if he's open. You guys on the strong, you got to pop, okay? Pop. Hey, in, let's go. Everybody, come on, everybody, come on, let's go. Take your time. Take your time. Set it up, hey. Let's go, set it up, make it work. Let's go, let's get the goal. All right, finish on 3. 1, 2, 3, finish!
And there was Jim Barnes in the Salmon River huddle.
Good advice.
As you said, take your time, 21 seconds, a lot of time. Let's take a look at this last shot on goal by the Shamrocks. Seth Oaks put it on cage, and Cottrell got a piece of it.
Yep, your goalie's got to make shots like that if you're going to move on in the States. It's a tough save. It was a tough shot, but that's what you need. And you didn't get this far. None of these teams got this far with a mediocre goalie. You have to have a pretty sharp goalie because you're going to get a lot of shots taken at you. And that was a nice save by the left-hander. He's going to probably see another one here as they've put the ball in the hands of Seth Oaks. At least that's what we think it is.
Yeah, let's see. No hidden ball trick right now, Dale. They've got us on our toes, though. Here's Oaks. Draws the double team, and just like that, we have a tie game. Pretty move from Seth Oaks, his 4th. And it's 6-6 with 5.5 to play in the first half.
Nice job. He just comes right, and everybody overplays him. They overplayed him, and he just came back to watch. Right-handed, overplayed, and he comes back left-handed, brings it back right-handed. Nice bit of stick work there. When they overplayed him, he rolled himself, got himself free, and Seth Oaks scored his 4th and tied it up with 5.5 seconds left in this half. Nice job by Oaks.
Ball down, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. It's been an entertaining first half, Dale. We thought it would be close, and it has been 6-6 at the end of 2 quarters. And let's send it down to the field with Dan Liedtke.
Thanks, Steve. Coach, you got to be pleased the way you ended the half, and how pleased are you with the overall effort of your team?
I'm pretty pleased the way the things are going. I mean, we're making mistakes, so I mean that's not something we got to do. I mean, we had a pretty good start like we wanted to do, but we made a few mistakes. Had an injury, one of our key defenders, so I think that kind of shook us up a bit. But things are looking pretty good. Tie game. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, you got a half under your belt now. Any adjustments you have to make on either side of the ball?
Well, I mean, they're starting to shut off number 12. I mean, our top Seth Oaks. So I mean, they're trying to shut him off. So we're gonna work something offensively, and they've been getting a road on our defense. So we're gonna make a few changes and see what happens.
Best of luck. Thank you,
All right,
Coach.
Thank you.
Back upstairs, Steve.
All right, thanks, Dan. They're trying to shut him off, but Seth Oaks has had a pretty good first half. 4 goals. We're tied at 6. More from CNS after this on Tom Warner Cable Sports.
And welcome back to Cicero North Syracuse High School. We're at the Alliance Bank halftime show. Alliance Bank, expect different. My halftime guest today, Mr. Mike Carboyne. He's the athletic director at Homer High School. Great to see you, Mike. Successful year for lacrosse, and coach is doing a great job. Kids doing a great job. What's it mean to Homer and your community at large?
Well,
It's been great. Obviously, the success the boys have had, the coaches have worked hard. The crowd is absolutely fantastic. They've been following us all the way around, all the way through the sectional tournament. We've got tremendous support in our community, all the way from our youth, all the way up through our high school. So it's really meant a lot to us.
Coming off a big win against the defending state champions, what was it like back home the few days you had to enjoy it?
Oh, it was great. We had a lot of people, a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails and texts congratulating us on our win. We lost to them twice during the year, and it's tough to beat somebody 3 times. So we were really excited to finally get a sectional title back for Homer.
Now, concussions are starting to be much more focal in sports football in the NFL recently, and certainly lacrosse as well. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Homer to take a progressive look at this.
Yeah, we developed a concussion management team. Myself, the athletic trainer, Joe Davies, our school nurses, and our school doctor. We put together that team to take care of concussions. Obviously, if a student athlete gets a concussion, we want to make sure that they don't come back too quickly. That's the biggest problem, is coming back too quickly, having a second injury before the first one heals. And so that, we really are on top of those things. And obviously there's a state law coming out here pretty soon that's going to detail a lot more about it. But we're hopefully ahead of the curve at Homer.
Well, it's been a while since I've been down to Homer, and it's 7 years. You really surprised me that new facility's been in there. Can you tell me what it's meant to the athletic department? It's
really a godsend for us. Our community was very, very helpful in passing that and giving us that facility. All of our teams play down there, especially in the spring, in the early spring, when we can get our lacrosse teams on there and playing on a full field instead of in a parking lot or indoor facility. It's really given us an advantage, so to speak.
Mike, thanks so much. Great to catch up with you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help.
That's Mike Carboy, the athletic director at Homer High School. Keep it right here. We're at the half. Homer and Salmon River knotted up at 6. You're watching boys high school lacrosse on Time Warner Cable Sports.
Accident? Count on results.
Cable Sports coverage of high school lacrosse is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By the Post Standard. For home delivery, call 470-NEWS. By Alliance Bank. Expect different. And by Price Chopper.
We're back at Michael Bragman Stadium. CNS High School for the Class C state quarterfinals between Homer and Salmon River. We're at the half, tied up at 6. Let's take a look at our highlights from the first half. Action-packed first half, Dale, as Kai Tarbo got the scoring started. Aaron Zimmerman answered for Homer. That tied it up at 1. Then Seth Oakes starts to take over for the Shamrocks. 4 goals in that first half for Oakes. This one off the nice feed in transition from Kai Tarbell. Homer went on a 3-goal run. Zimmerman scoring a couple of those. Then Bo Riley gets into the act off the nice feed right there from Sean Ferrito. That gave Homer a 4-3 lead. Then the hidden ball trick on the man up ties it for Salmon River. Tarbell gives him the lead. Homer takes the lead back. Riley with 3 goals in that first half. Homer led 6-5, but then Oakes answers with just 5.5 to go. And that's where we stand, 6-6. And what do you see, Dale, from the first half stats?
Well, you're looking at, let's just check faceoffs. We talked about how important those were. Now, Homer's got 8-4 in that department. However, 3 times in a row, they got the ball on a faceoff and turned it over. So that isn't that much of a statistic at this point. 6-6, both teams shooting pretty well. And Salmon River, percentage-wise, they get pretty good percentage when they shoot. They're using the zone defense a little bit, and that's Homer's not getting perhaps the looks that they want. It's going to be a very interesting game. 19-11 in ground balls. That's kind of a telling statistic. But again, score is the same. It doesn't really make much difference how many ground balls you got. It's still 6-6.
Yeah, and 5 ties, 4 lead changes. We're all knotted up at the half. I think that pretty much says it all. We've got a great one here in the Class C state quarterfinals between Homer and Salmon River. 24 minutes in the books. 24 minutes still to come. Third quarter action on the way right after this on Time Warner Cable Sports.
This says this is the best place to go for the lowest prices on everything. Jeans! Lowest price ever. Purses. Outerwear. Menswear. Jim Guild, the man with all the deals.
Yes.
May I have a picture with you?
Of course.
I love your work.
Famous Brands, downtown, Watkins Glen.
It's not easy being Peter Catalano's dog. He stays up late, works hard.
Defense against him, and we'll get some of our defenders a little bit of help, maybe switch up some personnel on him. But he's doing a nice job, and we've kind of been trading goals back and forth, and we'd like to stop their scoring on that end and start putting a few more up on our side.
Offensively, what are you going to look to do here in the second half?
Score more goals.
Good point. Love it.
Right.
Back upstairs.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Dan. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple advice. Pretty simple advice. Let me just, I have to correct one thing that I had mentioned. Must be doing college because it's 30 seconds in college to clear the ball. It's still 30 seconds in high school, but it's 20 seconds to get the ball over the midfield line and then 10 seconds to get it into the attack box. So I misspoke. Doing a lot of college games. I forgot that they changed it. It's still 30 seconds, but broken down into 20 and 10 for the high school.
You're allowed one mistake, Dale.
Thank you.
We forgive you.
Thank you.
And a whistle on the face-off, and it's going over to the Trojans. So Homer with the first offensive opportunity here in the second half. Zimmerman with the errant pass, but it's scooped up by Jake Gray. And now the Trojans set things up. Here's Riley behind the cage, and they've done away with the zone. And
yeah.
Now they're following Riley around behind the cage instead of giving him room to operate. Here comes the slide. And he gives it up, but the ball is down. And it's won by the Shamrocks. Kai Tarbell in transition. Fakes the pass, keeps it. Being watched by Maxson. Now Maxson switches off with Drew Christopher. Kason Tarbell. Gives it back to Kai. Just over a minute gone by here in the second half. Homer had the first offensive possession, turned it over, and now the Shamrocks a chance to move back out in front.
There's Tarbell waiting to see if he does that backup move.
Lewis was looking in front for Kason Tarbell, but nice job by Drew Christopher to bat down the pass and create the turnover.
Yeah, they tried to sneak that pass in there, and it caused a turnover.
Nice outlet pass by Cottrell ahead to Jake Gray, and a successful clear for the Trojans. Zimmerman now to Connor Johnston. Johnston to his left, comes back to his right, keeps it. Comes off the screen from Zimmerman and now gives it up to Aaron Zimmerman. Zimmerman has a step, bounces it wide, and Maxson there for the backup.
Oakley Thomas, pretty good job defensively there, not letting him get a good look. That's why the shot went wide. Good defense. And as we said, they seem to have switched from a zone back to man. They might switch again. You know, there's nothing like having a high school kid get confused. And when you change defenses, sometimes the offense gets confused.
Watch the next one. Watch the next one. Watch the next one.
Ferrito plays it off for Connor Johnston. Johnston to his right, gets a step, shot off the foot of Kobe Johnson, and Homer will keep possession.
Somebody's head, I think, flew off the stick, and they're going to take a timeout to get that off. I saw that stick, the head fly right off the stick. See who it was. Oh, you see that check by Thomas, and the ball just, or excuse me, the stick head just flew right off.
Lock it up in the middle now. Lock it up in the middle.
Riley behind the cage. Gives it up to Zimmerman.
Now they're back to his zone.
Watch the middle.
3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter, still tied up at 6. Riley to Johnston, he fires and scores. Riley to Johnston, Homer back up in front. Second assist for Bo Riley. He's got 5 points on the day. Connor Johnston, his first point of the afternoon.
Well, there's Riley behind. We talked about what happens. They leave him alone back there. He has a clear field of vision, and he sees Johnston caught, and the face-off man puts one in for his first point of the day.
40th goal for Johnston. He was so key in that win over Casanova.
Boy, yeah, for sure.
On Wednesday. As Tom Cottrell told me, said he makes the team go. And he does that by controlling the face-off X, and another win for Johnston at the face-off X. Takes a shot to the helmet, no call. And now Johnston gets a step, passes off to Riley. Riley goes behind the cage. And again, Shamrocks switching up defenses. Here's Zimmerman, leaps. Good save by Kobe Johnson. And now the Shamrocks looking to clear. Kyle Lewis with some open field to run.
Defense gets back, shuts off the transition game.
5 ties, 4 lead changes in that first half. We've seesawed back and forth throughout. Homer right now with a 1-goal advantage, approaching 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Dalston Day, he's been quiet.
Nice
the
move.
All-American gets some space. Shot never got through. Drew Christopher trying to win the loose ball, and he does. And now the Trojans looking to clear. Anthony Contento plays it off for Zimmerman. Trojans in transition. He was looking for Maxson on the doorstep, and the pass was taken away. Here's Tarbell.
Don't give him too much room.
Oakes whistles it wide, and it's backed up by Dalston Day.
You know, you can only back up so far on him.
Yeah.
You have to go out and play him because he's got a shot. See him backing up, and he just keeps stepping up. Well, that was fast.
Dalston Day bounces one wide of the net. Day trying to get it going. He came in with 91 points, 59 goals on the season, 32 assists. Recently named an All-American. And Homer has kept him quiet so far today. Pretty even in the turnovers. Ball will stay with the Shamrocks.
Good hustle by Savakul, but went off of his stick.
Chris Brown checks in as Zimmerman will take a brief rest.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, that you're a midfielder and you're cranking up and down. You've had these last up and down. You've got to give these guys a rest.
And there's Tarbell again.
Yeah.
Trying to pull off the hidden ball trick, but that time Homer wasn't buying it.
The Homer fans down in front of us were there.
Here's Kyle Lewis. Draws the double team. Has it checked away by Savakul. And
it should be white ball.
Homer be able to create the turnover. Alex Savakul. Solid defense.
Okay, now they have 20 seconds to get it over the midfield line. And we've had a couple of failure to advance.
There's Chris Brown.
And 10 seconds to get it into the box. There they go.
So Jake Gray touches it in, and a successful clear for the Trojans. Here's Riley again behind the cage. He's been picking apart this Shamrocks defense. Plays it up top for Connor Johnston. 6.5 to play in the third quarter. Johnston to his left. Draws the flag. Somehow hangs onto the ball. So a free opportunity for the Trojans.
That was almost outside the box. They're going to get a free. There'll be a hold on here, I think, unless he brought it up too high. I think it'll be 30-second hold.
Cleary with the bounce shot and Kobe Johnson the save. And the officials sorting this out. So Chris George heads off.
Anytime you see somebody's head go back.
So it's
like
a hold and an offside. So
okay, they had 2 penalties.
Looks like the Shamrocks will be 2 men down.
They got Kai Tarbell. Is he coming off or someone else is coming off? Two men up for 30 seconds.
So Oakes comes off, as does Chris George. And let's see if Homer can take advantage of a big opportunity. Trojans have not led by more than 1 goal. They have the chance here to go up by 2.
Ball's in midfield.
So Homer has 30 seconds to try to take advantage.
6 on 4.
Ferrito. Riley back to Ferrito. Here's Zimmerman. They work it around. Maxon in tight for Johnston. Tried to throw it behind his head, and another flag coming.
They're going to be 3 men down.
And Chad George, the freshman, will head out.
Oh, there he is. That's right. Just hold him there. You got to let him move. So they're 3 men down.
3 men down for the next 11 seconds. So let's see if Homer can take advantage. Johnston plays it in for Cleary. Now Maxon, Riley, Maxon. Here's Maxon, dips down, off the pipe. And how about that for a break for the Shamrocks? It comes right out to Seth Oakes. Oakes in front, shot saved by Cottrell. Oakley Thomas had a chance in front. Cottrell, the point blank save.
Great stick work by Cleary. Number 8, he picked it up one hand. Got it out to his teammate. So they survive a 3-man down on that ball that came off the pipe and went all the way down to their offensive end, picked up by Salmon River, and they not able to do anything with it, and the ball back in Homer's hands.
Zimmerman races around the crease, plays it off for Cleary. Now back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman to Riley. Riley shut off by Round Point. Under 5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Trojans with a 1-goal lead and possession.
I know they're using that zone, but when Riley gets the ball, they really shut down on him because he's hurt him before.
Zimmerman hits the turf, draws another flag. Boy, a lot of laundry on the field. 4 flags on the field right now.
Number 3, interference. 99.
So Ty Terrence is going to come off.
They got a hold and an interference, so it'll be, I think, 2 men down for 30
and
seconds.
Oakley Thomas will come off.
There's 99, right? And that's the hold. So they're up for 30 seconds, 2 men.
Trojans couldn't take advantage of the last opportunity. Let's see if they can cash in here. 4:30 to play in the 3rd. Zimmerman. Here's Ferrito behind the cage. Now Maxon. Shamrocks did a great job on the last 2-man advantage for Homer. Here's Johnston, lets loose, finds the back of the net. So Homer does cash in, and the Trojans have their largest lead of the afternoon at 8-6. 2nd goal of the day for Connor Johnston.
Connor Johnston just steps up. Good job of going to the far post again. You're going to see the goalie, Johnson. Watch where he's defending. The ball moves around. Now he's on that close pipe, and the ball goes far side. Great job of placing that ball by Connor Johnston, the midi, his 2nd of the day.
And Bo Riley's having himself a game. 3 goals, 3 assists right now for Riley. He's had a hand in 6 of Homer's 8 goals.
He was threading the needle when they were even. When you got guys down who are giving you a little more space with 2 guys down, that makes that feeding a lot easier.
Salmon River with 8 penalties so far today. And
yeah,
Homer,
that one hurt him.
Yes, Homer able to take advantage that time around.
Well, the 3 penalties they had before didn't hurt them, but this 2-man down did. Yeah.
All right, let's send it down to the field. Dan Lead can take it away, Dan.
Hey, Steve, that timeout, Salmon River, the coach has really just talked about, guys, get your heads together, have to play with more discipline, more regard with your stick. And if they're going to get back in this game, the coach talked about focusing and cleaning up their act a little bit. Back upstairs.
All right, thanks, Dan. Jim Barnes telling me last night that he thought it was going to be a very important team defense. He knows his team can score, but the key he thought to this game was how well his defense could slow down Homer. And obviously the Trojans with a 2-goal lead right now. Salmon River more than 8 minutes without a goal. The Trojans continue to dominate the faceoff X. And as you said, it's more important what you do with the ball after you get it, and the Trojans have done a much better job taking care of the ball than they did in the first half.
They have, yep. There was at one point there, they had 3 faceoffs in a row, and they turned it over each time.
Riley puts it on Cage, and Johnson gobbles it up.
Another interference penalty. Oh, he pushed him in the crease from the back.
So another break for the Trojans.
Yeah, it's not a time serve, but it gives you the ball back, and time going away here with, what, 3:30 in the third quarter.
Chance to extend this lead, and Trojans can get some breathing room here with another goal. Here's Riley being watched by Tarbell. Now Riley behind the cage to Zimmerman. Zimmerman plays it off for Ferrito.
They're still playing a zone, but they slide quickly to the ball when the ball's beyond goal line extended. You can see them both wings there. There's the inside move.
There's Zimmerman. Good save by Kobe Johnson. He fell into the crease, and now the Shamrocks looking to clear.
Makes the move, but you can see he was definitely in the crease. Saved by Johnson, and steal.
Ferrito takes it out of midair. And Ferrito runs it around the crease behind the cage, and will wait for some help. Plays it off for Casey Cleary. Cleary to his right, gets a step, bounces it high, and he draws another flag. It's a very aggressive Salmon River defense, but sometimes too aggressive, Dale.
Illegal body check.
Illegal body check. The penalty's starting to add up. That's a 1 minute. Is it Kyle Lewis? Was it 16 or? I don't know who's going to be in the box. No.
Looks like George is coming over. Chris George.
Yeah.
His second of the quarter. Just wonder how many bullets Salmon River can dodge here on the man down. Homer cashed in on the last extra man opportunity. 2 men up.
Ty, you gotta be ready to slide over. I got 2-1. Watch out.
Maxon was looking for Zimmerman and might have taken his eye off the ball, and a turnover for the Trojans. So Salmon River catches a break.
Match up, everyone.
Seth Oaks handling.
We're 22. Shut it off.
Kai Tarbell draws the double team. Now passes off to Seth Oaks.
Get there, Al. Shut off, White.
Just 10 seconds left on the man up. Ball checked away. Now Salmon River able to successfully kill the penalty. Now we're back to even strength. Approaching 1 minute to go here in the third.
Homer 2 of 7 on the man up. So they've had 7 opportunities and managed to get goals on 2 of them.
Here's Dalston Day. Has it checked away, boy. Homer doing a great job on him. Zimmerman in transition, gets a step, bounces it just wide. Ferrito there for the backup.
Good job of taking the shot and knowing that Ferrito was there. Let him clear, get back there to get you the shot back on the transition, the fast break goal. And you get a good look coming right at the camera as Zimmerman takes a shot. Not a great shot, but backed up by Ferrito, who takes another. Good save by Johnson.
And Bo Riley there. Approaching 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Homer has really dominated this third period. 13 shots to just 4 for Salmon River. Here's Cleary to Connor Johnston. Cleary, 10 seconds. Cleary still has it. Comes off the screen from Johnston. He's got to recognize the clock. There's only 2 seconds, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. So Homer shuts out Salmon River here in this third period of play, peppers the net with 13 shots, comes away with 2 goals, and the Trojans head into the fourth with a 2-goal advantage. Homer 8, Salmon River 6. Back with the fourth quarter after this on Time Warner Cable Sports. Good crowd on hand here at CNS High School for the Class C state quarterfinal game between Homer and Salmon River. Trojans lead at 8-6 as we get set for the start of the fourth quarter. Let's send it down to the field for Dan Liedtke.
Thanks, Steve. I had a chance to listen in on the Homer huddle. Coach was real pleased with the effort in that quarter. He said, we pitched the shutout. The recipe really was that we held the ball so long on offense. He was pleased with their decision making. And he said that's going to be the recipe here for the fourth quarter. We need to control the ball, control the clock, and make some good decisions on their shots.
All right, thank you, Dan. And yes, as we move into the fourth quarter, Dale, ball possession so important and good decisions. And Connor Johnson trying to win another face-off. And looks like he does. I think Riley had it.
Yeah, they got it, but
Riley,
what do you do with it? There
Riley lost it. Zimmerman gets it back.
Ground ball.
Another face-off win for the Trojans. We said coming in it would be a key stat, and boy, it really has been. Homer dominating that category.
And what Coach said, when Danny reported what the coach said, you're not going to sit on the ball, but take good shots. Take high percentage shots. Let's not turn the ball over if we don't have a real good chance at making a goal.
And we saw that in the third quarter with some high percentage shots.
Absolutely. That's exactly what they have to do.
Here's Connor Johnston, fakes the pass, keeps it. Now plays it behind for Maxson. In front, Zimmerman whistles it wide. Homer will keep possession.
Bo Riley with the ball behind. He's had quite a day. And as soon as they're going to go back and play man now. They're going to trying to get a man on Riley. They pick him and he gets a shot in the goal.
His fourth of the afternoon, and the lead is 3 for the Homer Trojans.
We talked about how when they were using the zone, they let him sit back there, and he made some nice passes. They got some assists. Now they play man-to-man. They set up a pick back there. He gets right through the pick. Nobody stays with him, and he takes a high bouncer. They reacted late on the switch, and Bo Riley right there. There is no switch. He gets a step on number 7, Chris George, and he high bounces it past Johnson for goal number 8.
Tom Cottrell calls him the quarterback of the offense, and boy, has he been quarterback in the offense this afternoon. 7 points, 4 goals to go along with 3 assists. And Homer wins another possession. Trojans in control of this second half. In your opinion, Dale, what's allowed Homer to really change the momentum so that right now, it was 6-6 at the break, and Homer's had all the momentum here in the second half?
I think they settled down. I think they made better judgments. They took better shots, and their ability to pick up ground balls is that's what's really been a big difference here. Right now, we're also looking at Homer 2 saves, 7 for Salmon River, but the shots have been coming a lot more from the white sticks.
There's Riley. Does he have a fifth in him?
Nice
Not
save.
this time, as Johnson got a piece of it. Homer gets it back. And it's going to stay with Homer, I believe. Yes, indeed. Ferrito hit the turf.
Another interference. Now this is a very important possession because I always say when you get up 4 goals, the 3 is okay. Obviously you'd like to be up 3 goals, but 4 generally can be a backbreaker, especially in a fourth quarter of a game.
And Salmon River hasn't scored since late in the first half. Seth Oakes scored with 5.5 seconds to play in the half and has been all Homer ever since.
And they've been struggling. The Salmon River's been struggling with the face-off, so that's the other indication. It's if you're going to get back in the game, you got to score, but you got to turn around and get that ball right back. That has not been the case so far today.
There's another goal. There's your 4-goal lead. Sean Ferrito beat his defender, beat the goalie, and it's 10-6 Homer.
Now, the defender took a chance. He tried an over-the-head check, and Ferrito ran right through it. Watch the check. Watch him go over his head. Right there. Didn't get the stick, and not much of an angle. I'll give Ferrito a lot of credit. He just got about 2 steps beyond goal line extended. He put that ball back, and Ferrito, 52 points, chimes in with his first goal.
Yeah, that's a big one, as you said. Gives them a 4-goal cushion and another face-off win.
So that's the guy who's Connor Johnston. That's such a key. Has been a key. Was a key in the Cazenovia game. And he not only does he's no Fogo. He stays in and plays defense. Also has a couple of goals today.
What a great weapon to have on your side when you feel so confident that he's going to come up with a face-off, winning about 66% of his face-offs this year.
I'd say this too, if knowing the propensity for the fouls they've been committing, I'd really wait till you get a stall call. Let's see if they get a little frustrated and you can't pick up a slash.
There's Riley.
You don't have a good shot, don't take it.
Takes it behind. As you said, Homer doesn't need to be in any hurry right now. There's Johnston with another shot. Colby Johnson got a save. Got a piece of it, but Homer will keep possession.
Man closest to the ball on a shot gets the ball, whether it's the team on defense or offense. That time they keep the ball on offense. Look at that, 18-4. That's a real key stat. Also, the fact that Salmon River's been playing man down quite a bit.
Yeah, Salmon River's going to have to take some chances here as we're under 8 minutes to play in regulation, and it's getting away from them a little bit. Trojans with a 4-goal lead and possession. Zimmerman makes the extra pass to Riley. 5 goals on the afternoon for Bo Riley, and a pretty assist from Aaron Zimmerman, and it's a 5-goal Homer advantage.
Well, you said it. They had to take some chances. They had to double the ball. They ended up doubling the ball, and then Ferrito finding an open man, and then the open man finding another open man as Zimmerman dealt off a nice assist there, and Riley finished it off. A great look by Aaron Zimmerman. He could have tried it himself, but he knew his angle wasn't as good as his teammates. He made the extra pass, and nice conversion by Bo Riley.
5-0 run for Homer since halftime, and that's the advantage right now. 11-6, Trojans in front. You gotta love the unselfishness, Dale. As you said, Zimmerman could have taken the shot himself, but he looked for his teammate who had the better shot. Bo Riley puts it away, and Tom Cottrell has loved working with this group because they are so unselfish. They're all about team first, and we've seen that here today. So finally a face-off win for Salmon River, but Homer still dominating that category 13-6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the Homer defense that all the offense has kept them off the field.
There's a shot
right
and a goal. Tarbell to Tarbell. Kai finding Kaysen. And boy, do the Shamrocks need that.
They do. They're not out of this. But we talked about how important the faceoffs are. They have to start getting faceoffs and getting quick goals. And just like that, what they'll do is if they get quick goals like that, you can shake up any team. And Tarbell, Kaysen Tarbell, open right in the middle, takes a little jump shot, puts that away for, right off the stick of Cottrell.
That ends a drought of nearly 17 minutes without a goal for Salmon River. And they do win a faceoff. Kai Tarbell comes up with it. So down 4 with the ball, 7 minutes to play in regulation. Tarbell backing his way in.
Got a short stick on him. Cleary. Not the matchup you want. But here comes a slide. Here comes a big stick to help.
There's a pass in front and another goal. Cam David. So 2 quick ones from the Shamrocks, both off assists from Kai Tarbell. And all of a sudden, Salmon River playing its way back into this thing.
As I said, it's not over. When you get up to 4, and with that time, it puts you in danger, but they did exactly what I said they had to do. They had to get face-offs and get quick goals. They did 2 goals quickly, 2 face-offs quickly, and they're right back in this game.
6:43 to play. Homer up 11-8. And Connor Johnston says enough is enough.
The other thing they have to watch is don't get that 1-minute penalty, because they'll take 59 seconds off the clock before they take a shot. They're going to take their time on this one. They had one of those passes go bad before.
Salmon River climbing back into it with 2 goals in the span of 27 seconds. Zimmerman plays it off for Johnston.
Strategy is the same. Don't take a bad shot. Take the high percentage shot.
There's Riley, and he finds the back of the net. Everything going in for Bo Riley. 9 points on the day for him, and the lead back up to 4.
You feel a little bit more confident now, but that run, as we said, 2 goals in 27 seconds. Riley answers. Not much of a shot. I mean, good shot, but he didn't have much of an angle, and the goalie right there just couldn't stop it. He kind of hopped over his stick side of the left-handed goalie. Riley, 6th goal today.
And I like how Homer's not just sitting on the ball, Dale. Like you said, they're still attacking, still taking shots, just trying to take smart shots.
Right. Not throwing the ball away.
Johnston wins another face-off to Zimmerman. Thought better of it, and he backs it out.
Zimmerman, one of the captains, making good decisions and obviously imparting his wisdom to his teammates. Cleary's going to get that ball, and again, you go right back where you said they're going to have to take some chances, Steve.
This is a Homer team that went 15-4 a year ago, 17-3 so far this season. Cleary has a step, but circles back out.
Yeah, they're making a substitution, trying to get some fresh legs in there. Chris Brown in.
And I believe that was a pass, and yes, that's what they're going to call it.
Now, Homer's got to ride. Make him take as much time as you possibly can to clear this ball, and hopefully maybe get a failure to advance. 20 seconds to get to over the midfield. 10 seconds to get in the attack box.
Oakley Thomas along the near sideline.
Got the first part.
Watched by Ferrito, and Thomas able to clear it. His pass
going to scoot.
Goes wide of Cam David, and Kaysen Tarbell couldn't get there in time. Ball back over to the Trojans, under 5 minutes to play, and Homer in real good shape now, up by 4 with possession. They can take all sorts of time right here.
14th turnover for Salmon River, 11 for Homer. They had more at the beginning, and they seem to have calmed down, but 14 turnovers, not a whole lot. I mean, you don't want to have that many, but not really the culprit in the game. They've just had good, sharp shooting in this 3rd and 4th quarter by Homer.
And obviously this is the first appearance in the state playoffs for these kids from Homer. First time in the Class C state playoffs for the program. And like you said, maybe some nerves early on, but boy, the Trojans settled down. They played a terrific lacrosse game, up by 4 with possession. Here's Riley, passes off to Zimmerman.
Nice save.
Big save by Kobe Johnson, but there's some of that frustration that you talked about, Dale, as Salmon River will go man down yet again, and Homer will keep possession. So the save, all for naught, as Homer will get it back now.
Yep.
Help each other move your feet here.
They hit the goalie. Body save. Just found the balls on the outside. Nice save by the goalie. He's been busy. He's got, I think, about 9 saves. Now, they're up a man. I'm assuming they're going to take a lot of the minute off the clock. And on the other hand, Salmon River's going to have to pressure the ball, see if they can cause a turnover.
Yeah, really no need to shoot, like you said, Dale, unless you have a wide open layup.
Right.
4 minutes to play here in regulation. Trojans in control.
Salmon River has played man down for 6.5 minutes. Now they're being called for warned for stalling. They got to keep it in the box.
Well, that's a little bit easier to do when you have a man advantage.
Yeah. And you can stand there as long as you want to. Maryland did it.
That's right. Saw it in the women's title game quite a bit as well between Syracuse and Northwestern.
And one of the reasons why they're talking about a shot clock when they meet this summer.
And now we are back to full strength. Stall warning still on, obviously. Zimmerman comes around the pick, and there's another flag. Oh, they're going to give Homer a timeout. Tom Cottrell called it, and
got a flag too.
Let's see if we got the flag first.
It's a hold.
And we do. Not going to win too many high school games with 7 minutes of penalties, Dale.
No, that'll be the 7th minute, and that's tough. And not even, you're giving them a chance to score. And we looked, they were 2 for 7 the last time I looked. But the point is, Homer was, you also taking time off the clock, and you're really not doing much offensively when you're playing man down for 7 minutes. So of a 48-minute game, you're playing man down for 7 minutes.
And don't forget, this is just the first of 3 games we have for you live today on Time Warner Cable Sports. Coming up next, it's the Class A state quarterfinal between Ithaca and Liverpool, and then one more later on tonight between Vestal and the defending state champs from Jamesville DeWitt. All the games right here on Time Warner Cable Sports. It's been overcast all day long here, Dale, but still no rain.
Yeah, that's good news.
Homer's been so impressive throughout the course of the playoffs. Opened up the postseason with a 22-2 victory over the Blessed Virgin Mary, then 9-3 over Skinny Atlas, 7-5 over Marcellus. That game was close. Jonathan Cottrell with a big effort in net, had 13 saves in that one. And then, of course, the 10-6 victory over Cazenovia on Wednesday. 7 straight goals from the Trojans after falling behind 3-0. They, as we talked about earlier, won 11 consecutive face-offs behind Connor Johnston, and he's been another key factor in this one today.
Nice crowd, though, from Salmon River came down to support their team, and from Section 10, quite a trip. But the second half has been kind of telling. There's a lot of goals early, tied up 5-6, and then now, obviously, Homer has pulled away with some pinpoint shooting and playing man up for 7 minutes. Of course, not all at once. But
that'd be some sort of record.
Yeah, that would be.
And again, Homer in absolutely no hurry as Zimmerman and Riley just play catch behind the cage.
Somebody's going to have to go back, and then the goalie may come out and have to double somebody.
And we're back to full strength. Riley. Here's Cleary. Zimmerman, and Trojans just playing keep away as we approach 2 minutes to play here in regulation. Homer looking to move on to the state semifinals. Knocked off the defending champs from Cazenovia on Wednesday, and about to move within 2 wins of a state championship.
You know, we don't keep time of possession, but if you did in the second half, it would be obviously much in favor of Trojans from Homer. Can't score if you don't have the ball.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And it helps the defense, too. The Homer defense has been rested, and again, another flag, and that's been a theme here in this second half. And another timeout by Tom Cottrell. So we're going to have a flag and a timeout just like we did a couple minutes ago.
I think it's George, number 7 again. Perhaps. It's going to be another hold. You can see when they go by, lots of times they try to go up and over the head, and then you end up holding, impeding the progress. So that's a desperation move. I understand it. certainly wasn't malicious. It's just trying to get the ball. But he held them, and it will be a 30-second advantage. And Homer will come out and take 30 more seconds off the clock.
Well, this has been a roadblock for Salmon River. They've been here 3 consecutive years. Lost to Skinny Atlas 18-4 back in 2010. And then took Casanova into overtime a year ago before falling to the Lakers. And obviously got back here for a 3rd time today. And right now it's looking like Homer will be advancing.
Coach Cottrell, in talking to him before the game, and he said, I said, what's so? The 3-3 defense, perhaps? And, nope. He said, I'm going back to man. We only used that. They practiced it all year. That's what's amazing in that Casanova game. It's very hard to practice something and not use it in any game situation and put it in a game and have it work, because you're playing against your own guys. I mean, how many times you practice, no, you're going to take it a little easy here. You're not going to push it there, and you don't really get much of a test. And here they instituted against Casanova. It works well. Comes back the next day, and he said, nope. These guys are too good. These Salmon River shooters, too good. They'll pick my zone apart. They'll find those spaces. So we can't give them the opportunity. So we're going to go with man, and that's pretty much what they've done today. As they get a hand here, they'll be in a very familiar position. Man up again.
They practice that zone all year long. Like you said, didn't use it in a game, and then they pull it out in the biggest game of the year against a team they've already lost to twice.
Crazy. I know people say, if you do that, he must do a great job, because they look like they've been playing it all year. It's hard to have that as a wrinkle unless you play it. If you're going to play it like a whole game, that usually is something you really have to spend a lot of time on, not something you do. Like you'll do it on an inbounds play or something, you go to a zone, but to use it the whole game, credit to him and his staff, by the way. Mark Ferrito and Mike Carboyne, the athletic director, they've done a nice job. Homer's going to move on.
And Casey Cleary's all the way up here by midfield, just standing by himself. And sure enough, they play it to Cleary, and now a skip pass. Stall warning is on. But Salmon River, a man down and 4 goals down here in the waning moments of this game. Ferrito content to keep it in his stick.
As long as tempting him to go over the head, and that's where you run into trouble. They're even now.
There's Zimmerman. And sooner or later, the goalie's going to have to come out and help try to get the ball back, but Kobe Johnson's still in cage.
Or not, at 4
yeah,
goals
true.
With a minute.
Trojans just playing keep away. Zimmerman off to Bo Riley, and there's another flag, and Zimmerman's down. And
yeah, that was a late hit.
Again, that's the frustration that is showing through from Salmon River.
Kevin, balls to you. Went outside the box over there.
Time now for our Save of the Game, brought to you by your neighborhood UPS stores with 13 locations throughout Central New York. Your local UPS store is your one stop for all of your packaging and shipping needs. And there it is. On the doorstep, Oakley Thomas denied by Jonathan Cottrell. As we said, Cottrell so key in that win over Marcellus in the sectional semis. Had 13 saves in that game. It was a 7-5 victory for the Mustangs. There's Bo Riley.
Could have taken a shot. They decided there was no point in taking another shot.
And another flag down, and it's probably good that this game's coming to an end, Dale, because things are getting a little chippy down there. The Homer Trojans going to move on to the Class C state semifinals. Impressive second half out of the Trojans. This game was tied 6-6. Trojans pull away for a 12-8 victory. There it is. The horn sounds. And the Section 3 champs are moving on to the state semis. With the win, Homer improves to 18-3 on the season. Salmon River wraps up another successful campaign, 19-1, first loss of the year for the Shamrocks. And looking ahead, Homer now advances on to face either Penn Yan or Silver Creek in the state semifinals. That game will be played right back here at CNS High School on Wednesday at 3:30.
12-8. Great looking game for Homer. Great second half, Steve.
Yes, it was, Dale. We'll be back with our player of the game and recap this one. Homer moving on. We're back after this on Time Warner Cable Sports. Back at CNS High School, there's your final. Homer 12, Salmon River 8. Trojans are moving on to the state semifinals. Time now for our player of the game, brought to you by Nice and Easy Grocery Shops.